Hey everyone. So you're gearing up for the 2026 Icse biology exam, right? And you probably know there's that one question. The one that causes more stress than maybe anything else on the paper. Well, today, we're going to demystify it. We're going to break it down and give you a solid strategy to absolutely ace it. Let's crack the code on question 2.
Yep, you know exactly which one I'm talking about. Question 2 in Section A. It always feels like this random mixed bag of questions from all over the syllabus, right? It's almost like it's designed just to catch you off guard. And that unpredictability is so frustrating. But what if I told you it's not random? Not at all.
That's right. We've literally gone through years and years of board papers, specimen papers, everything right up to the latest 2026 one. And you know what we found? There's a pattern, a clear one. It's like a code. And today, we're going to give you that code.
Okay, first things first. We've got to get rid of this idea that this question can come from just anywhere. It can't. It absolutely can't. Our analysis shows it consistently comes from a very, very specific and surprisingly small group of chapters.
And here they are, the big four. First up, plant physiology. Think photosynthesis, especially the light and dark phases, and absorption by roots. Then you've got human anatomy and physiology. They are obsessed with the circulatory, excretory, and nervous systems. For genetics, it's usually just the basic fundamental definitions. And you can almost bet on it. The last little part of the question, it's going to touch on pollution, often with a nod to Swachbara. So listen, the big takeaway here is this. Stop trying to study the entire syllabus for this one question. Just focus your energy right here on these 4 chapters.
But here's the thing. Knowing the chapters, that's only half the battle. To really nail this question, you've got to understand how they ask things. It's all about recognizing the format of the question itself. So let's break down the most common types you're going to see.
Okay, the most common one by far is just a simple definition. You know, the classic, name the following, or explain the term. This is all about testing your core vocab. You've got to know those precise one-line definitions for stuff like photolysis, allele, guttation, or natality. Seriously, no long paragraphs. They just want the exact scientific meaning, quick and to the point.
Next up, we have these logical pairs. I actually think these are kind of cool. Think of it like a biological analogy or a little puzzle. They'll give you one complete pair, like insulin is to beta cells, and then they give you half of the next one. So glucagon is to what? And boom, you fill in the blank, alpha cells. This is so clever because it's not just testing what you've memorized, it tests if you can actually see the connections between things.
And definitely keep an eye out for these other 2. You've got your structural identification questions, where they might show you a diagram of, say, a turgid cell, or an ear, or an eye, and you just have to label a part. And then there are these location function tables. They'll give you a hormone, like ADH, and you have to fill in which gland it comes from and what it does. See the pattern? It all comes back to connecting a thing's structure to its function.
Okay, now for the part I know you've been waiting for. We've pulled together the questions that show up again and again and again. These are the greatest hits, the low-hanging fruit. Let's do a quick rapid-fire round. Getting these right is literally free marks on the exam. First one, you've seen this diagram a million times. What is the point of attachment for 2 chromatids? Go on, you know this one.
Centromere, exactly, that's it. That one perfect word is exactly what the board wants to see.
All right, next up, a classic definition from human reproduction. Define the term menarche. What is it?
The answer is the onset of menstruation in a human female. And notice how that's a full, clear sentence. That's super important. That's the kind of complete answer that gets you the full mark every single time.
Okay, let's jump to the nervous system. This is about a super important part of the brain. What is the function of the corpus callosum?
It's a sheet of nerve fibers that joins the 2 cerebral hemispheres. See? It's not just about what it is, but what it does. It's basically a bridge that connects the 2 halves of your brain.
And for our last greatest hit, a really common acronym from the endocrine system, give me the full form of ADH. What's it stand for?
Antidiuretic hormone. And hey, here's a pro tip. If you really want to show the examiner you know your stuff, add its other name, vasopressin. They absolutely love seeing that little extra bit of detail.
So that's the past. We've seen what's come up before. But what about the future? What about your exam in 2026? Well, using the latest specimen papers and board trends, we've done an AI-powered analysis to predict what question 2 is going to look like. And here's the single biggest takeaway, the main headline. The board is shifting. It's moving away from just testing your memory and moving towards testing your competency.
They don't just want you to spit back a fact. They want to see that you can apply it, identify it, and analyze it. It's about showing you actually understand the biology.
So what does that actually look like on the paper? Well, for anatomy, instead of just a definition, you might get a diagram of a blood cell, like a neutrophil, and be asked to identify it and state its function. For plant physiology, you'll probably see 2 diagrams of a cell and have to explain which one is turgid and which is plasmolyzed. See, it's analysis. And for the endocrine system, you can bet on seeing a table about a hormone like adrenaline, where you fill in the cause and effect on your heart or your blood sugar.
And this trend just keeps going. For genetics, you won't just define phenotype and genotype. No, you'll have to differentiate between them using a real example, like the classic tall versus dwarf pea plants. And that last sub-question? It's probably going to be about a practical health topic, something like explaining why tears are antiseptic. Hint, it's the enzyme lysozyme, or stating a simple objective of the Swech Baharat's abion. It's all about connecting biology to the real world.
So there you have it. Question 2. It's not some random scary mix bag anymore, is it? It's a predictable question. It tests specific topics in specific ways. So by focusing on these core chapters, mastering the different question formats, and getting ready for these new competency-based questions, you're not just studying harder, you're studying smarter. We've cracked the code for you. Now it's your turn to go use it.